I want to start out by saying, this item was originally brought forward in December before any of the recent ICE activity here in Austin. And I voted against this item in December because I agree with Councilmember Houston that this is an appropriate role for charities, and I do not believe that this is an appropriate expenditure for the City Council. I do think that the Catholic charities and others in this community are providing a needed service for some immigrants who are here because they're victims of abuse or because they're seeking asylum. And I encourage people to give generously to those charities or any other charities that they believe is serving a purpose and is contributing to our community in a positive way. But for the many anecdotes of people who are here in genuine need of those services, there are also people who are here who have committed heinous crimes and who have been accused of sexually assaulting children and domestic violence. And so I think the thing that we have to understand is that this conversation is driven by fear on both sides. I understand that there is a fear in our immigrant community about their future and their families, but there's also legitimate fear on the other side of people who have, yes, been here for generations, and they're not hateful. They feel like their quality of life and their future in this country is being threatened. They feel like their safety is being threatened when they see reports of undocumented immigrants committing crimes against people in our community and not being held accountable. They fear for their economic stability when they're struggling to stay in Austin to begin with, and then they see their tax dollars spent on public services that they don't even qualify for. And they see people, just like there were today, waving Mexican flags and signs in Spanish, and they don't understand the loyalty of some people to a country that they are supposedly fleeing. So I just hope that this discussion can be framed in a way of trying to truly mutually understand the fear that exists on both sides of this issue. I had a constituent who emailed me this morning saying that he thought that he had a decent compromise, a common sense solution that he's sure that the rest of the City Council can support, and he asked me to bring it up, so I will. And his proposal is to spend $50,000 of city money, additional city money for legal services, and then offer a public match or a call to action for the rest of the community to privately raise the additional funding for legal services. So I'm happy to offer that amendment and interested in seeing if there is a second.
Is there a second? We'll continue on with the conversation.
Thank you for allowing me to offer that, and I look forward to continued respectful dialogue, not only on this dais, but hopefully in this community, because the hate coming from either side is not productive, and it does scare me for the future of our country, the increasing divisiveness, and I'm going to try to continue to conduct myself in a manner that is open to different points of view, and I look forward to continuing to work collaboratively with this council and with this community.
Mr. Casar?
I don't think that this is driven equally on both sides. There is fear, legitimate fear on one side, and the other side, including anecdotes you've expressed, are false. It is. There is no one in this community that is accused of committing a crime who is not taken through the criminal justice system the same as anyone else. And nothing that we have said today on our side of this issue is untrue. Whereas what you have implied and what other leaders have implied is deliberately misleading to score political points on the vulnerable. The people that you've described that have committed crimes can be tried and held and put in prison just like anyone else. And if what you want is to express that those people should be treated more harshly than others because of where they come from, you can make that statement. But the statement that those people are let out on the street and are dangerous, unlike people of other colors and other backgrounds who go through the same process, then you're deliberately misleading people. And that's different. There's a difference between fear on one side and people having concerns on the other. But if you have concerns, make sure that you're making accurate statements. Second, when people say they're worried about the quality of their life, that's fine. They can have the quality of their life, which we are dedicated to supporting. But we're not here to protect the quality of your life by protecting you from certain people from certain places. And then finally, as far as private fundraising goes, you can go to State Representative Eddie Rodriguez's fundraising page for the over $1.5 million in cuts that the governor has made, in my view, unconstitutionally against veterans and children in part of this political war. The fact of the matter is, you can disagree on this point. And I respect many of your opinions on many issues. And I totally understand that you and I can disagree about immigration policy. But do not, and you will be called out in this chamber, do not spread lies and misinformation that people that have committed particular crimes are not being punished and that people are in danger from those folks. Because the fact of the matter is, those people can be prosecuted by our district attorney and treated in the criminal justice system just like anyone else. And this president started his run for the presidency by doing the same thing, by saying that people were violent criminals because of where they came from, and that's unacceptable.
Any further? Mr. Flanagan.